Welcome back, Warriors. It's me, Linda B. Thank you all so much for joining me here tonight for another live stream, Warriors. Got some good stuff to share with you tonight. Don't forget, I am here on most Mondays through Thursdays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on YouTube. And you can also follow me on TikTok and Instagram and chat with me, Linda B. And also I am on Twitter as Linda B Podcast. Thank you guys so much for joining. We're going to go ahead and start off with a word of prayer. Dear God, in Jesus' name, we thank you so much. Father, we thank you so much for protecting us, leading and guiding us, and that you always seem to point us in the way that you would have us to go. We are grateful, and we pray that you continue to bless this nation. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, guys, don't forget to smash the thumbs up, comment, share, subscribe to my channel. If you haven't already, select all notifications. Stick around to the very end. All right, as you all know, I like to say hello to everyone. And please let me know if you can hear me well. If the audio is clear and coming through right, let me know. And if it isn't, let me know. All right, we have my husband, Calvin Bentley II. He was the first one to join. And of course, I got to say hi, honey. Hello, Iron Ear. Hello, Fed Up Patriots. Hello, hello, hello. You guys are so amazing and so supportive. June Stanley. Hi, June. All right. Who else do we have here? Bernie. Hey, Bernie. How are you doing? Hope all is well. Natural Sis 64. Hello there, Natural Sis. Hello, Karen. How are you? Excellent, guys. I'm so thankful that you guys are showing up for the live streams. It really means a lot to me. Don't forget to hit that like button. That really helps this video go out farther onto YouTube. The like is very important. Dagny Taggart, hello there. Hello, hello, hello. And we also have Marla 5656. Hello, Marla is in the house. All right. And who else do we have? Maga Tamara. You know, that's the highlight of my live streams, is just to say MAGA Tamara. All right. And then we have Stephen Winterhill. Hello. Are you new? Oh. He says that Trump says jump, I say okay. He's supposed to say how high. No, I'm just kidding. Welcome to the family. I don't believe I've seen your name before. Iron sharpens iron 102. Hello there. Hello, everybody. All right. We're just going to go ahead and get started. So, you know, every time President Trump does something, these demon rats lose their minds. And it's not so much that they really did. I don't think they disagree with it. I think because they don't like him and what he represents and what he's trying to do is clean up things, and they were trying to dirty everything up, that just because it is Donald Trump, they're going to complain. Some of the things he's been doing, other presidents have done. Nothing was said. But because it is Donald Trump, they literally don't have any answers or solutions, just demonize him. That is really, really bad. It did not work in the last election. So what makes them think that it's going to work now? They literally have nothing in their playbook. But let's just see how bad they just lose their minds.
He's gone into the Smithsonian, and he's effectively now has some random person deciding what is appropriate for the Smithsonian to teach in terms of American history, things that don't offend parts of the MAGA base, right? So we're now literally reviewing parts of American history and parts of American culture to make sure it comports with dear leader and what the MAGA
Can we address some of those things that are in there? Because have you looked at some of the things that are being reviewed?
Yeah, slavery was a bad thing that was to talk about.
Okay.
Like,
he's not whitewashing slavery. So
he's not?
He's not. No,
okay.
He's not. And you cannot tie imperialism and racism and slavery to just one race, which is pretty much what every single exhibit does. But let's talk about the fact that when you look at slavery, let's talk about the fact
slavery in America was.
Do you realize that only less than 2% of white Americans owned slaves?
But it was a system of white supremacy.
You realize that slavery is thousands of years old?
White people.
Do you know who was the first race to try to end slavery?
Wait a second.
Well, what's controversial?
I'm very surprised.
This is an extraordinary exercise in this.
Let me just stop this. Okay. This is what bugs me about the Democrats. I am going to really just unleash on these people, okay? I'm trying to stay Christian. I need your prayers because they get on my last nerve. Why do they keep bringing up damn slavery? Oh, Lord. They always say, racist, orange man bad. Racist, racist, racist. And I told you, they literally project. So whatever they are, they say Donald Trump is. They say that about our president. And they might as well be talking about themselves because whatever they say he is, that is what they are. So when they keep saying racist, they might as well be looking in the mirror saying, I'm a racist. And we already know you are. You're not going to change my mind. I'm talking to the liberal clefty lefties out there. You guys got to know me by now. I get a little worked up. I am so sick and tired. Slavery has been over with in the United States. Chattel slavery. I mean, I know there's other things going on. Don't get me wrong. But it has been over for more than 100 years. Literally over 100 years. So why are these people out here constantly bringing it up? Because they've indoctrinated a lot of folks of the melanin, and they think that is going to continuously work on us. They don't have another playbook. Lo and behold, Lord forbid that they would actually have a policy or two. Oh, they can't depend on that. They got to dig in their bag of tricks.
Historical revisionism.
I'm really surprised.
Do you realize that,
Jillian, I'm surprised that you're trying to litigate who was the beneficiary of slavery and
I'm
who
not.
was not.
What I'm trying to tell you is
in
that
the context of American history,
okay.
in the context of American history, what are you saying is incorrect by
What I'm
saying that it was white
cannot-
people oppressing black people?
Every single thing is like, oh, no, this is all because white people bad. And that's just not the truth. Like, for example, every single exhibit, I have a list of every single one. Like, people migrated from Cuba because white people bad. Not because of past. Yes, no, it's in there. That's what I'm saying. You don't actually know what's in there. Do you know that when you walk in the front door,
what exactly,
the first thing you see is the gay flag?
Jillian, you have a lot of stuff in front
Yeah,
of
I
you.
do,
What
because I don't,
exactly
because here's the
are
thing.
you talking about?
Okay, I'll give you an example.
Yeah, please.
There's one called Change Your Game, right? This has been an installation there. Is gender testing fair in sports? Does that, and then it goes on to talk about how it's complex to do gender testing in sports. It's not complex. It's basic science. That's untrue. It's XX chromosome, XY chromosome. That's sports. Is it fair to have biological men competing against biological women in sports? No. But why is this in the Smithsonian? So it's been completely captured.
First of all, I don't.
And
think
it's totally partisan.
We don't. First of all, we don't have time to litigate
of
all of this.
course we don't, because then you're going to lose the argument. If everything is racialized, just like you're trying to do to me now.
Woo! Jillian Michaels, she just said we don't have time to litigate that. Now, that's what Abby Phillips always does, but we don't have time. That's what they always do when they see they're losing. And she said, of course we don't, because you lose. And you try to racialize everything just like you're doing now. See, people are seeing through this BS. And I hate that they use Black people to spread the BS that hurt everybody. Y'all just don't know. That really gets me rumpled up. And Fed Up Patriot, you are so right. We need to focus on the future. And then Iron Ear, you said we'd be all better off by putting that energy into our relationship with God instead of bringing up grievances. These people have been dead, gone, nothing left. Okay, just a skeleton. Please, let's move on. But that's their playbook. That's what they got to do. And that party was built on slavery, that the party of slave masters. So it's in them to try to deflect from their past. So they got to do this. They're going to continue to do it. And it's disgusting. And until people open up their eyes and see what's really going on, you got some people that are going to be just stuck in the dark.
Excuse me.
It's like, I can't believe you're trying to suggest, that slavery
just to
is
be
a good
clear,
thing.
you brought up race.
No,
this was a conversation about the arts, and you brought up race.
It isn't.
You brought up,
but the whole point of this is that the issue
you brought up slavery, and you brought up the question of whether you brought up the question of whether or not slavery in the United States is about race. The answer is
no, I
yes.
Didn't. I did not
in the United States.
Don't straw man my argument, because that's not what I said.
So what are you
brought
talking
up
about?
Slavery. And what I was talking about is that this isn't really about that. when you make every single exhibit about white imperialism when it isn't relevant at all, that is a problem. So when you're talking about Cubans leaving Cuba and you make it about white people bad, that's not accurate.
Can I just say something?
That's my point.
All right, we're going to move on.
I was saying on the arts thing.
She said we're going to move on. We're going to move on. Okay, I just hate this. I'm glad that one thing about CNN I will give them credit for is they do have opposing opinions at this table. Hey, yeah, I'm just saying some don't do that. I don't think MSNBC does that. And if they do, I don't know anything about that. But that, I thought that's good. I'll give them some credit for that. But, I have to, Jillian Michaels handed her a square on a plate. But next I want to bring up Judge Jeanine Pirro. And I like Judge Jeanine. I really do. And this is about a man throwing a Subway sandwich at an officer. I don't know how you guys feel about this. I mean, the officer wasn't hurt, but we got to bring back respect too. People have been spitting, throwing bricks, hitting, cussing at officers. This is not okay. And it was a Subway sandwich. Let's be clear. It was a sandwich. You guys give me your comments about this, but here is Judge Jeanine.
So President Trump has vowed to make D.C. safe and beautiful again. And as part of his effort to
see this man jumping up and down in front of an officer, and there's a row of officers right there. He's jumping up and down and acting nuts. People are crazy. Why would y'all just stand up and do this kind of? First of all, you don't know if that officer is unhinged, and he could just take you out. I know they probably won't do that, but I'm just saying these people are off their rockers. They are crazy. They have lost their minds.
Fight crime. He's bringing in our federal law enforcement partners like FBI, ATF, DEA.
Did you see him throw that Subway sandwich and run off? He's such a soy boy. Look at this.
Fight crime. He's bringing in our federal law enforcement partners like FBI, ATF, DEA, or Park Police, everybody to help the Metropolitan PD fight crime. And the president's message to the criminals was, if you spit, we hit. Well, we didn't quite do that the other night when an individual went up to one of the federal law enforcement officers and started jumping up and down, screaming at him, berating him, yelling at him. And then he took a Subway sandwich about this big and took it and threw it at the officer. He thought it was funny. Well, he doesn't think it's funny today because we charged him with a felony, assault on a police officer. And we're going to back the police to the hilt. So there, stick your Subway sandwich somewhere else.
And then she poses. I love her outfit. Judge Jeanine. Get him, Judge Jeanine. That's just crazy. And then people, I'm telling you what the people on the left are going to say. They're going to say it was only a sandwich, but it could have been something else. See, you got to think more than one way. Officers have a very dangerous job. And what if that was something else other than a Subway sandwich? It could have been an explosive. It could have been anything dangerous that could have unalived someone. So you can't just let that go, because if you let that go and say, it was just a sandwich, then they'll up the ante. So we got to take crime seriously. And that man had no reason to do that, jumping up and down in their faces. He didn't have anything else to do. And who was filming it? You know what I mean? That was just for some kind of moment on social media. That is just wild. You people need to find something else to do. Yes, I said you people, you crazy ass liberals. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. Pray for me. Pray for me. All right, what are you saying, Fed Up Patriot? I saw that video clip and learned that the guy works for the Justice Department. Yes, he does. Yes, Iron, the Bible says you're in danger of hellfire if you call your brother a fool. That's the only reason I don't call these people. I know, right? Maga Tamara, me and Judge Jeanine are the same height. Oh, wait a minute. How tall are you, Maga Tamara? How tall is she? Is it 5'3" or something? I don't know. Yes, she is a superwoman. She's only 5 feet tall. Oh, wow. Karen screaming and hollering, punk ran off. That's what I say. You punk. You punkish. I mean, what in the world? You gonna throw a sandwich and run off? You so big and bad. You the one big and bad standing there when you threw that sandwich. And now look at you. You play stupid games. You win stupid prizes. And you FAFO. Okay? All right? You're 5 feet. I didn't realize Judge Jeanine was 5 feet tall. Yes, you are a petite thing, Magna Tamara. I'm almost 5'7". Somewhere in there between 5'6" and I might be 5'6", 5'6.5", something like that. Right, Linda B. Don't give them an inch because the next thing would be worse. That's what I'm saying. You got to think like if you don't do something, like if you give someone a slap on the wrist and then they say, oh, I didn't get in trouble for that, not much. Then they do something more and worse and worse. You just can't play. You can't play. This is not time to play. And what reasonable, rational thinking person does this anyway? That is just so stupid. Let's see what else you're saying. Megan, okay, I got no Linda. Oh, yeah, I just told you. Yes, yes. Oh, you're 6'1", Bernie. Show off. You should be in a short friend. There's a couple of my friends that are my height or maybe a little taller, but a lot of my friends are shorter than me because the average woman is 5'4", 5'5". So I guess I'm just a tad over average. All right. Yes. Better not play. So I just wanted to share that one with you. But yes, I love Judge Jeanine. She is like, I bet you're not laughing now. I bet you're not laughing now. And we got to talk about the Democrat mayor of D.C., Muriel Bowser. Muriel Bowser. Well, you think she's going to cooperate and she's smiling in President Trump's face, that she's acting nice, that she's acting like she's going to cooperate. And then she goes behind everyone's back and then have these little Zoom meetings. These Democrats, you can't trust them. And let's hear a little bit. I'm not going to play this whole hour. Okay, I'm just going to play a little bit of this.
Relates to the president's ability to declare a public safety emergency. We do not believe that we are experiencing a crime spike or are in an emergency status. In fact, MPD has been doing the job with community and all of their partners in government to drive down violent crime in the District of Columbia. We have, in fact, experienced a 26% decrease, and that's on top of the 35% decrease we saw in violent crime last year.
Okay, so remember who does the stats for crime? Isn't it the local authorities, the local law enforcement authorities giving the stats? So what makes you think they can't be toyed with? And who cares about your so-called stats and lowering of crime when you still have really bad crime? Tell that to people who have been assaulted recently. Tell that to people who've been beat up and knocked in the head, bloodied. Tell that to them. I'm like Judge Jeanine right now. That's falling on deaf ears with me. You tell that to the families of loved ones that have been unalived in the streets. Some of them as young as 3 years old. Y'all tell them that the crime has been lowered. See, Democrats want chaos. That is what they want. They love it. They marinate in it. They eat it up. They lick the plate clean. They love some chaos. If there's no chaos, they twitching, they feeling some type of way. They allergic to peace. Oh, them helpers don't like peace. They want some chaos. They want this, any kind of crime you got. What? No crime? What? Yeah, that's a demon rat for you. You're like, Linda B, what you talking about? You sounding kooky. But no, it's the truth. They live and dwell in chaos. And when it's too peaceful, they're like, what can we do to cause up a ruckus? I don't know. Pay some people to come out with some signs and throw things at ICE agents. Yeah, that's them.
Having said that, we never take our foot off the gas, and we're never satisfied with any level of crime, certainly violent crime, the use of guns, and homicide and robbery and carjacking in our city. We recognize, and we worked with all of you in 2023 when we did experience an unacceptable spike in violent crime. That's when I came out to ANC meetings. I met with school leaders. I met with members of the council. We moved an emergency piece of legislation that was followed by an omnibus bill authored by Councilmember Brooke Pinto. That bill allowed us to do what I think is one of the most significant things to drive down crime. And that is to be able to hold violent offenders who have been accused of a violent crime pre-trial. And since we've been able to do that,
you know, they love saying they're going to do something on the demon rat side, but they let people go. They release them. Judge Jeanine said when they're underage, you know, these teens that are under the age of 18, she can't touch them. Okay, so they've got to lower the age, you know, of accountability. They have to lower it. You may have to lower it as young as 12 or 13. I hate to say it. And, you know, if they are younger than that and they do something like that, where's the person who's the parent of that particular kid? Where is that person? The parents should be held accountable in this some sort of way. Why aren't they supervising or parenting their children? Because if a child, someone under the age of 18 goes out, breaks something or does something, they contact the parent and the parent is held accountable. We got to get these parents put their A squareds to the fire. I mean, seriously, if their parent, especially if what that child did is a result of the neglect of the parent, which needs to always be investigated. You guys give me your comments because we got to do something about this. We just can't pat people on the hand. You know, sometimes a young person is more dangerous than an older person because they don't always think fully of the consequences. They're more likely to get in their feelings and be completely impulsive and not think things all the way through, but they're still deadly. So, and they knew enough what they were doing before they broke into someone's house, before they carjacked someone. I don't want to hear it. I'm like, y'all got to get off the street. In any event, you got to get off the street. We got to think about the people that are just going about our business and being law-abiding citizens. Those people don't deserve that. People work hard and they just want to live their lives in peace. And why should we be bothered by criminals? You cannot live in a civil society if you do not do something about those of us that are not well mentally. Okay, something has to be done. Okay, we just can't keep, doing this. That's just crazy. Linda B, I wouldn't be surprised if the DEMS say, well, the voting age should be lowered as well. Oh, well, they'll probably do that now. They'll do that. But no, we don't need it to be lowered because the main reason is, people that are underage they say your brain's not fully developed until you're 25, but we don't need to raise the age of accountability. It needs to be lowered. Okay. And these people need to be held accountable. All right. Yes. I love this family too. And someone was saying that I was cutting up today on my butts and bonnets video. Yeah, because now who was that? Was that My Girls? Somebody was saying that. I couldn't help it. Sometimes the underwear be dirty when they wear their pants sagging that low. And then the bonnets and the booty shorts, y'all. Why would you go somewhere where you got to get up and somebody else got to sit behind you and you literally have on shorts that are so short, certain parts may touch the seat? That's not sanitary. I'm trying to watch what I say. You know what I'm saying? And we're all adults here. Your parts should not be right there. I need to carry some Lysol wipes with me, some spray, because I'm not sitting down after somebody who's dressed like that. I'm not doing it. I don't know where you've been. I don't know. I don't know what you got. I don't want it. I'm just saying. Yes. And what else are we saying here in the comments? Democrats are nuts. Kids don't have an age limit to cut off their body parts, but to spend time in a jail cell, oh, they're too young. I know, right? I know. I agree with you. That's changing quick. Thank you to our president and his cabinet. Excuse me, guys. It was Layla. Oh, it was Layla. Okay. You say you enjoyed the buns and the buns and bonnets, the butts and bonnets video. Yeah, it's the truth. I mean, I go by what I see. You know what I mean? I know other people see what they see in their neck of the woods, but I can only go by what I see here. God will get them in time one day. All right. Let's see. Karen, you're like, laugh out loud. Accountability and justice are beautiful. Oh, my girl's 8. You watched the one with the grifter shifter Umar. Now, you know, he got like over $1.6 million. And that school still was not up and running. And now the city is going to auction off that building. And I'm telling you, in that video, I give you the signs of people that are race grifters. Okay, go watch it if you hadn't watched it. If you see that, you know not to give your money, you know not to pay them any mind. They're just there grifting and playing off of people's emotions. All right, that's what they're doing. We don't pay those people any, never mind. All right. And what did you say, Karen? I see bonnets frequently. I know, Mega Tamara, I love the butts and bonnets video too. I was just polite, never mentioned it to anybody. I thought the guys didn't know what it meant for their pants to be down. Surprise, surprise. I mean, you would think, well, I don't want to do that because that means that. I'm like, what? You're going to let your pants hang down like that? Now, this is a clip from Judge Jeanine. I know you guys probably have seen it, but I love it so much. Oh, I love her. Firecracker.
Thanks.
What changed?
It's never enough. This changed. This changed. It's never enough. You tell these families crime has dropped. You tell the mother of the intern who was shot going out from McDonald's near the Washington Convention Center, oh, crime is down. You tell the kid who was just beat the hell and back with a severe concussion and a broken nose, crime is down. No, that falls on deaf ears. And my ears are deaf to that. And that's why I fight the fight.
Thank you.
Come on, Judge Jeanine. Get them. Get them, get them, get them. That's what I say. These people have got to be nuts. Oh, you got to hear this clip from the senator out of Louisiana, the Republican John Kennedy. Listen to what he had to say about Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries. Listen to this.
The mainstream wing of the party is scared to death of the loon wing. They won't speak up, and they don't stand for anything anymore. All they stand for is whatever is against whatever President Trump stands for. That's why we find ourselves in the extraordinary position of mainstream Democrats have now come out firmly and passionately in favor of crime in Washington, D.C. Why? Because Trump is trying to do something about it.
Chucky Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, they are, quote, minority leaders in name only. They'll never stand up to that wing, will they?
No, but they could. And I don't mean any disrespect. I don't know Mr. Jeffries that well. I know Senator Schumer very well. So I say this with respect. Chuck and Hakeem need to go to Amazon, buy some testicles, and stand up to the loon wing of their party. And until they're willing to do that, I haven't heard Senator Schumer say anything bad about Mondami. I mean, the guy's a socialist.
He won't.
He's
they
a
won't.
whack job.
Yeah, but they're afraid of the whack job. Can you explain something to me? I didn't know that Amazon sold testicles, Senator. I appreciate you educating our audience about that. I had no idea they sold that.
Sure.
I guess anything's for sale these days. They're very cheap.
You can buy you can buy anything on Amazon, Sean.
Apparently, I'm learning a lot tonight.
They say they need to go to Amazon and buy some testicles. I ain't know they sold testicles on Amazon. I didn't know that. Woo, these people. Wow. All right, now this is a clip of Democrat mayors across the United States reacting to what President Trump is doing. Now, I can't imagine when President Trump does other things like require ID, get all the illegals or almost all of them out of the country, they are just going to fall out and have a tantrum in the middle of the street. Watch
he will
this.
not bow down or succumb to his tyrant rage.
Sorry about that, guys. Here we go.
We will not bow down or succumb to his tyrant rage. He is one of the biggest threats to humanity that we've seen in an entire generation. We are justified in our resistance to his authoritarianism.
For the president to say, well, we can take over your city whenever we want, and I'm the commander in chief, and I can use the troops whenever we want. I think that that is an abuse of our troops, and I think it's an overreach of presidential powers.
In my city, in Baltimore, we have the fewest amount of homicides through this date on record. That's 50 years, a 50-year low. The president could learn a lot from us instead of throwing things at us.
I'm not part of the group that says we don't want to work in coordination with the federal government, but we don't need anyone to come in and take over our law enforcement apparatus. We have to find this police department on the globe. If the White House wants to help us in what we're doing to continue our success, and if we could help other cities, municipalities, they may want to ask us to come in and help other cities. We're willing to go into other cities and help them as well.
All right, so those are the mayors across, the Democrat mayors across the country. I do think the NYPD is much better than the LAPD. Maybe that's not true. You guys can tell me. Maybe, maybe not. And yes, also I have a clip with some California Democrats reacting to the Trump administration's deployment of the National Guard. So we're just going to watch this one last thing about the National Guard. We're going to get onto some other things here.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening, Trace. Yes, some California Democrats are slamming the Trump administration's efforts to improve safety by deploying the National Guard to D.C. And the president says he hasn't ruled out sending troops to other cities. Governor Gavin Newsom said, quote, he was just getting warmed up in Los Angeles. He will gaslight his way into militarizing any city he wants in America. This is what dictators do. And L.A. Mayor Karen Bass also weighed in.
I think D.C. is a test case as well. For the president to say, well, we can take over your city whenever we want, and I'm the commander in chief, and I can use the troops whenever we want. I think that that is an abuse of our troops, and I think it's an overreach of presidential powers.
However, Republicans say these comments show just how out of touch some California Democrats are when it comes to prioritizing public safety, especially in—
What is this? This is Oakland, California on July 5th. Wow, California is horrible. You think New York is bad? Oh my gosh.
A state where local law enforcement has had to work vigorously to tackle various types of crimes, including violent smash and grabs and organized retail theft. And just take a look at this. On Saturday, officers had to break up a big street takeover in downtown LA involving 40 to 50 vehicles.
I do not understand why Democrat leaders do not want to see their communities safer. We are here to make the public safe and to enforce the law, and they want to defend thugs and allow these people to act with impunity. There's this general sense of lawlessness out here in Los Angeles. You saw it during the George Floyd protests. You saw it more recently during the immigration protests.
And Tracy will have more on that big street takeover later in the show.
Yes, that was a street takeover. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning, right outside where the Lakers play, that arena. They were doing wheelies and donuts. And someone, I think, got unalive because the guy lost control of the vehicle. And this young woman, she lost her life. So why do Democrats love chaos? They just love it. I'm telling you, boy, law and order is like kryptonite to a demon rat. Boy, they can't stand it. They're like, ooh, that's like some garlic or a cross or a stake through the heart or some sunlight to a demon rat. Law and order and Jesus, oh no, they'll just burn to the ground. They'll just disappear. Those demons. That is so horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. All right, let me see what else I can share with you guys. Okay, I wanted to show you one. This is a little clip of the National Guard coming up to some folks in DC. I think this is pretty good. I think I'm just going to share this with you. And yeah, let's just listen to this right here. Oh, thank you so much, Fed Up Patriot. Woo! Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Fed Up Patriot. Now let's listen to this clip.
How y'all doing today? Y'all stay in that trouble? All right, cool. You got your ID on you, chick?
Well, no, I live right here.
Cool.
It's a cigarette. Did y'all get a call or something about right here?
No, so we're doing checks, keeping everybody safe down here, right? Have you heard of the federal surge that Donald Trump's putting out?
No.
Right. You don't follow like Code 3, anything like that? But no. All right, so yeah, Trump's got all federal agencies kind of coming together for 7 days and going out, trying to stop the violent crime, all kind of stuff. So we're out here contacting people, talking to them, right? Quality of life offense is smoking, drinking in public, right? Can't happen outside, right? Most people know that. So we're contacting people, trying to advise them of the law so they learn, right? And then if there's other stuff going on where it turns into there's multiple agencies of somebody, there's shooting and things like that. So there's extra hands as well, right? So we're just out here trying to inform people and educate people. It's not like we're trying to just go grab people and ruin someone's life over a joint or something like that, all right?
I only eggs because when you walked up at the moment you walked up, you only had eggs. Meat.
Yeah, well, it smelled like the odor of marijuana, burnt marijuana in the air, right? And you're the only guy that had something lit in your hand, and I didn't flash you, so I didn't realize it was just a cigarette. So that's on me. I appreciate you understanding and not getting chippy. All right, so just know, right? Learn, teach, tell your boys, like, yo, everybody's out, from FBI to park police. Right? So do your thing. Let them know. Don't be smoking outside. Don't be drinking outside. Because Donald Trump is tired of it. People come to visit.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know smoking in public?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the recreational
because they're learning this recreational use, so I didn't know.
Yeah, so DC, it's recreational use as well, right? But you can legally possess up to 2 ounces. You can gift an ounce to your boy, right? So if you had 2 ounces and he said he needed a zip, you can give him a zip, but you can't smoke outside. You don't.
Okay, so that's something I was not aware of, that you could not. I guess I didn't know you couldn't smoke. I should have known you couldn't smoke it outside. I should have known you couldn't smoke it outside. I don't smoke that. I don't smoke anything at all. So I didn't realize. But you see how calm that the officer was. He was very calm and non-threatening. He's just trying to make sure that everything's okay. And you know what I mean? And he smells something that smelled like marijuana. And he was just trying to address that, you know, this is the new law. Well, it's been a law that you can't smoke and drink outside, I guess, in DC. You can't do that. You just can't do that. Okay. And he said most everybody knows that. So, and he was non-threatening. See, the Democrats are going to try and make it seem like they're just taunting American citizens. They're bullying them. They're profiling them. They're going to make it seem like something that it is not. But when you saw this right here, did that look very threatening to you? That man was so not threatening. I mean, they are just wild. They are crazy. They are just so crazy. Bernie, thank you so much. Oh, you guys are the best. I echo Fed Up Patriots words. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you so much. But what do you think about everything? You think it's a good idea? Do you think that there's more that could be done? One video that I did, a man said that something needs to be done in the home. I don't know how you fix that problem. I don't know. I just don't know. Let me see what you guys are saying. All right, Doe. All right, Karen. Hello. Fed Up Patriot. Let's see. God bless you. My brother Linda B is worthy to be recognized. Oh, thank you so much. That's so sweet of you guys. All right, let's see what we have. Any comments on, let's see, my girls H. Ninjas. When will they ever learn? Oh, okay. Dagny Taggart, tell your friends the games are over. Tell them. Doe, yes, we had a live early. I just got done. Bernie. All right, let's see what else you're saying. You guys have any comments about what that interchange right there with the officers? All right, you're saying Miss Fig is like washing your face and leaving your butthole. Oh gosh. In other words, take care of your home before your neighbor's home. Yes, okay. I love those analogies, by the way. Karen, demon rats will blame Trump. Of course they do. God bless Linda B and all in the chat. Yes, you guys, bless you all. You're a blessing to me. God is good, period. All right. All the time, my girls. Mega Tamara. All right, and let's see. Mega Tomato, you said I think that Cap was pretty cool about it. Yes, he was. He was. He wasn't harsh or just threatening or just, but they're going to make it look like that, and then something needs to be done about the media, because when former President Obama repealed the Smith-Monk Act, which basically gave authorization to have propaganda throughout the media, that is the problem. We can be more united as a country if the media would properly report news and not just gang up on one side and cover up the dirt from the other side. You know what I mean? I mean, this is what we need. We need common sense. Just tell the news as it happened, okay? And not this, we just use the same verbiage and read the same script and say the exact same words across all networks. That's just wild to me. It's just totally wild to me. But you guys, don't forget, I am not here tomorrow. I only do my live streams Mondays through Thursdays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on YouTube. Also, a video just dropped on my other channel, The Linda B Show, and it is about the last days. You can go to The Linda B Show. It just dropped a few minutes ago, and you can watch it and remember to like it and share it and all the things, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for watching and being a support to me. God bless you all. All right, I'm going to go now. You all be blessed. Love God, your families, these United States of America. And like I always say, march on, warriors. Good night, everybody.